everyone, welcome to today's episode where we are going to have our illustrious team member here, Joy Knight, join us. Welcome, Joy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So the reason I asked Joy to be on today is we are doing quite a few Housing Authority of the Cherokee Nation Mortgage Assistant Program files, or as we call them, just Cherokee Nation Mortgage Assistance, or MAP program. MAP is the Mortgage Assistance Program, and Cherokee Nation offers it to their tribal members. And really, Joy, because she's been on the team, she's not the oldest team member. She's the most what would I say?
I don't know.
Most educated.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
She's been with me the longest. How about that? I love it. And so therefore she really is truly the Mortgage Assistance Program specialist. And she's gone through the actual course and understands the ins and outs and knows what a buyer will have to do to become qualified for that. So today this is going to be kind of an overview, but I wanted, because I'm actually working with several clients right now, Joy just closed a client. Tell us just a little bit about the overall program and why we think it's a great deal.
Yeah, we love it. I love getting a client that is going through that program. Number one, because in order for you to qualify for that program is you have to go through a class. And I feel like they get so much information in that class, and it's really, really good information, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. But really and truly, anyone I feel like could benefit it, because by the time I took the class, I think I had purchased like 3 houses, and I felt like I learned something. So I felt like those buyers are really, really savvy and really, really smart, because they just have like a little bit more information through that program. So,
yeah, I love that. Absolutely. So the whole entire point of Cherokee Nation doing the class is that they do help the consumer be educated as to what they're getting into. So they really go through and explain, your monthly payments, how taxes and insurance works. I remember one of my favorite things is they tell you to know where the water shutoff is.
Yeah.
I mean, just little simple things that a first-time buyer may not think about.
Yeah.
So, yes. And tell us a little bit about like what you have to do to qualify.
Sure. So obviously the class, you have to go through that to qualify. The very first thing that you have to do though is to fill out the application. I always have applications printed out and ready to go, just because obviously it's a great program and we do utilize it a lot around here. So I always have those applications. If you need one, let me know. But so you send that out, send all your income information. I think it's like an 8-page application. It's not hard. It's really easy. So you go through that. They'll call you and you go to the classes. They have different tiers of what you can actually get for that mortgage assistance and how much money you're getting. So, but it depends on your income and your circumstance. So
I would say on average it's about $15,000.
Yeah.
And there are some additional programs that after closing you can apply for if you did all of the steps.
Yeah.
So a few notes that I have just from the transactions I've worked with buyers and then from having watched Joy do this over and over again. First off, you do have to have a CDIB card, prove that you're a tribal member. Second, you will need to qualify for a loan. So if out of the gate you know that your credit score is, in the tank, we can help you get that taken care of by putting you with a local lender that's going to walk you through the program to get qualified so that you can qualify for the for the additional funds or the money. You will need to fill out the application, and this is something that Joy is really, really good at. You can reach out to Joy. She will either email it to you. You can stop by and pick up an actual, copy of the application. But the number one thing when you're filling out the application is, our recommendation is when you complete the application, feel free to swing back by our office. We will run you a copy and then email it to you. Why is that important? Guys, as with any large government entity, sometimes these documents get misplaced or lost or even just damaged. And if you've just filled out the 8 pages and pulled all of the, Social Security card and all of the information that they need copies of, and then it gets misplaced or lost, it's so frustrating for you. So what we do is we will email you a copy so that you have it in your email, and or at any point you can ask us to reprint that off once you've done it. And we always recommend that you make double copies of everything so that you can very quickly jump back in and you don't have to wait 2 or 3 weeks, to pull it all to again. So,
That's true.
Anything on that I've missed?
No, that's perfect.
Okay, very, very good. Okay, the next thing is that when you go to sign up for the classes, it's not like Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So when we say classes, I think that's what people think. Then the Housing Authority wants you to be successful. So they're going to give you some different options. Maybe it's not here in Tahlequah. You might want to drive just slightly out of area to take the courses on a different day or something like that. But again, they're not hard, but they're also not boring. Like when you're sitting and you just want to cry because it's like a waste of time.
Yeah, and you just think you're never going to use that information. Yeah, you'll definitely use it, so it's not boring at all.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now, guys, keep in mind also that this is all before you start looking at homes. So we're not going to pop you in the car and drive you around before you've completed the application or before you've started these courses, because it does on average take
It's about 6 months before you actually are going to be ready to go look at houses. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. But I would say at the 4 to 5 month mark, that's where we want to kind of start getting involved and updating you as to what's happening in the market, because part of the program is to have you be as knowledgeable of a buyer as possible. And so some of that comes back on us. We can start updating you. Here's a list of homes in the area you're wanting to purchase. This is what they're listed at. Oh gosh, they've sold. This is what they've sold at. And that will make you a more knowledgeable buyer when you're ready.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we can set you up on a search and a market update so that you can kind of see what's going on and kind of know what to look for too in the price range that you're looking in, and have a little bit of that in your back pocket. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So then we take them out, we start showing them homes. And then what?
So the other thing with Cherokee Nation Map, not only do you have to qualify for it, but your house has to qualify for it too. So we're going to look at houses that are going to pass your inspections for the Cherokee Nation and for your home inspection and for your lender. So it needs to pass that. But you're not necessarily going to go out and look at a bunch of fixer-uppers, stuff like that. We try to stay away from. Not always. Each circumstance is different, of course, but typically we try to find something that's going to be a little bit more move-in ready.
But keep in mind that it's an aesthetic thing. If the carpet is orange shag and the kitchen appliances are avocado green, that's not a problem. Not a problem. But if there is no carpet, then we might have to negotiate with the seller to have that taken care of. And I always give Joy a hard time because she's a little bit of a house whisperer on this kind of thing. She has been able to help buyers get into homes that they chose based upon the location or the school district, or just simply there was nothing else in their price range and they really needed housing. And she's been able to negotiate. I mean, honestly, I know there's been at least 2 or 3 that I was like, that's never gonna, and then she closes them. And the reason is that because she is so knowledgeable of the program, she knows approximate cost of what it will take for the seller to bring that home up to that standard so that the consumer can not only qualify, but the home can qualify. And again, guys, we're not trying to get you to purchase a home that has a lot of issues, but if you are utilizing this program, it is somewhat income-based, and so you are going against a lot of other buyers in the market in a situation where we have low inventory. And if you're under $200,000 and you're looking for a 100% move-in ready home, that's a little tough. So having someone like Joy on your team that's going to help you, negotiate those, I don't know if I'd call it repairs as much as just corrections to the home.
There's
Like
some things like I've done enough now. I kind of know what they're looking for.
wood rot on the trim. I mean, it's just trim, so that's a pretty easy thing. It's not a structural thing, but that's something that she's got a couple of contractors who will go out, take care of the work just prior to closing, taken care of. What are some of the other things that you've had negotiated for?
So any like broken windows, oh gosh, what else? If there's like flooring that's coming up, like if it's an ugly flooring, it's fine, don't worry about it. If it's coming up, then that's, can come up on inspection. What else?
I think the concern is a lot of times people think, oh, they're going to be so super duper picky. But here's the thing, guys, they're not. I mean, the Housing Authority is their whole thing is to help their tribal members in the sense of helping them get housing, but also making sure they don't get into a horrible situation. So don't always assume. I would say if you're not sure, have Joy go take a look at the house.
Yeah. And I feel like it seems like the biggest thing isn't necessarily like if you have 2 or 3 repairs that need to be done, but if there's like 25, 30, when it gets where you're like, okay, that's a lot, then, you might have to take a second look at it. But yeah.
Right. The other thing is I find that a lot of buyers are a little bit nervous about utilizing the Cherokee Nation program because they think that they have to continue to live in the home no matter what for 10 years. Is that accurate?
That's not accurate. They like you to, so there is an incentive to stay there longer. But they just prorate the payoff amount for that, whatever money they have given you in the assistance. So it's just prorated, and we've sold a few now where they've had to pay back the amount, and the house equity covered the amount. So
I'm so glad you pointed that out, because that's the concern, is that you're a first-time buyer and you think that maybe within 3 to 4 years you might upgrade your job and want to relocate out of area or just buy a bigger house. But guys, the way our market works is the equity typically catches up with you and you still make money and are able to pay off the mortgage assistance program the remainder of the 7 years that's left or whatever. So it's a fantastic program. I think we've both been in the situation recently where first-time buyers have come to us and said, hey, I want to start looking at homes, but I do qualify for the MAP program. And then we explain the 6-month situation and they say, okay, well, I'll just skip that. And we're like, I don't know that you want to do that. Like, we actually talk you into waiting to purchase the home. Not in every instance, but in several, it has been better for the client to go ahead and be a little bit more patient and go through the program and get it. Because on average, it's about $15,000 and that is your down payment. And sometimes even it goes into a portion of your closing costs. So it's a big deal.
Yeah, and when you can get the amount where it does cover your closing costs, then you're not having to ask the seller to cover that. And so you're going to have kind of a leg up on your competition from other buyers when you don't have to ask for that closing cost because you're getting the assistance. So it's already there.
And in this low inventory market, that's a game changer. When I see a Cherokee Nation mortgage assistance and I have the seller, super excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Anything they should know if perchance they're utilizing another realtor? I don't know why they would, but let's say they're related to someone else and they're going to choose a realtor other than someone on the team. Anything that they should be aware of to put in their purchase offer?
So you are going to want that it is contingent upon the entire approval or the entire process being approved.
Correct. Absolutely. And as a listing agent, I'm shocked at how many times I get offers from other realtors. And then, 2 to 3 weeks in, they say, oh, the Housing Authority of Cherokee Nation needs to. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, they're utilizing the mortgage assistance program. If that's not in your offer, you're really putting yourself in harm's way of possibly losing your earnest money or being in breach of a contract. But by making the purchase offer contingent upon the final acceptance and approval of the Cherokee Nation Housing Authority. I didn't say that right, did I?
That's all right.
Okay, the
Cherokee Nation.
Housing Authority of the Cherokee Nation, I believe.
HACN. Yep,
Yes,
you're right.
yes, there we go. Housing Authority of the Cherokee Nation. That's a good way, HACN. Just make sure that you're working with the realtor and a lender. Joy, have you had any problems with lenders who didn't know what the heck they were doing?
Yes, I have. Yeah, where they maybe forgot that there was another entity involved and the communication wasn't always there. So that's really, really important.
Yeah. So really, at the end of the day, if this is a program you're interested in, my recommendation is just to reach out to us. As we said, Joy can hook you up with an actual application and give you a list of local lenders who are very familiar with the program, will stay within the perimeters and help you move forward and, not cause any major delays or hiccups.
Yes, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
Okay, fantastic. So guys, as always, please like, follow, and share. We want to get this out in front of as many people as possible to help them. If you have any questions about the MAP or Mortgage Assistance Program for tribal members, notice I didn't say Cherokee Nation tribal members,
true.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you are a tribal member, there may be some ways that we can assist you with that. So please reach out. Again, like, follow, and share. And if there's any topic you would like to have us discuss, let us know and we'll look into it. Thanks for watching.